Oh, this is also another question I've been stuck with. Is it football or flipping soccer, bro?
She want my heart when she held my toolie. I like my girl classy and unruly. Baby girl, I said I got you for life. She want Fashion Nova, but I bought a Gucci.
Is it called football or soccer? Well, it depends on who you ask. Both words refer to the
Let's
same
see.
sport, and which one you use probably comes down to where you live. But
So what? Australia, New Zealand, I did like that today.
stupid.
South Africa, Chile, and the Brazilian countries, I think. Jamaica somewhere here. Before you guys get at me, hold on. Where is Jamaica?
The Caribbean Sea,
Shut
according
up.
to common.
I don't care about that. Say it right? Right there. That's why I said where Jamaica's probably at. Around this area. That was right. So shush. Basically the whole of Europe. Okay.
Right. Is there a reason we have two distinct names for the same sport? Let's find out on today's episode of Colossal Question. Since the sport first started in England, where
Yeah.
it's called football,
Yeah.
most people assume that soccer.
First started. Yeah. Let's go back to that.
Since the sport first started in England, where
First started in England. Okay?
it's called football, most people assume that soccer must be an American word. But it's not. Turns out it comes from British slang. Even still, most British fans today reject the name soccer and
Yeah.
insist on football.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, very few Americans call the sport football. Technically speaking, everybody's right. Both words are correct. You see, it all goes back to 1863, the year that the English Football Association officially wrote down a set of rules for the sport. At the time, the sport was super popular in England, but it wasn't the only type of football people played. Rugby football was another version that let players touch the ball and carry it around. So, one of the sports became known as association football, while the other was called rugby football. Eventually, people just started calling it rugby or rugger. Association football became known as just football, but it also sometimes got called a soch or a soak, a soccer, and then eventually soccer. For a while, the name soccer was used alongside football in England, and no one seemed to care which word you used. It all meant the same thing.
Once upon a
By
time.
the 1980s, people more or less stopped saying soccer entirely across Britain, and the ever-popular sport became known just as football. Meanwhile, across the pond in the US, another sport was growing more and more popular all throughout the 20th century: gridiron football. This version borrowed bits from both rugby and association football, mashing them up into a new variation. This new version of American gridiron football proved to be quite popular.
I think that's the thing where you kick it, you throw it. Oh, it's like, what? You know, what am I saying? I'm confused. Gridiron football. Gridiron football, yeah. You play it like it's football, rugby, and basketball. I've heard.
Rather than Maybach, I know I'm not Ross. I just told Sosa that she is the boss. We living that life and we living the life.
I'm not sure though.
And people quickly started referring to the sport as football across the country.
Oh, never mind.
Because of this, association
Something
football
else totally.
players across the U.S. started using the old slang term soccer to differentiate from American football, and by the middle of the 20th century, the term soccer was firmly cemented in place. There are other countries that call it soccer too. Like the US, it's usually because there's another variation of football that's popular in the country, creating a need for different names. Canada calls it soccer because they play their own version of gridiron football. Ireland calls it both words since they also have Gaelic football. In Australia, they have
Yeah.
a form of rugby called Aussie Rules football, so they call the other sport soccer. New Zealand, South Africa, Japan, and a few others use the word too.
Japan.
So which is it? Soccer or football? Well, it depends on where you live. But no matter what you say, you're talking about the same sport. So call it whatever you want. Just don't touch the ball with your hands.
Fair enough. So what, when it comes to internationals, like, you know, just international football, what are they doing? What are they calling it actually? Anyway, at least now we know soccer is basically the same thing as football.
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
Of course we knew that, but which one came first? It's football. Football came first before soccer. We know that. Soccer is the slang. Football is football. Yeah? Yeah?